for the action.
Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we're back with some more PGL. This is week 10, and for those of you who didn't notice, we were gone for a couple weeks here. So week 7 was the last time we had a video up. So in week 8, there was connection issues towards the end of the battle, but our opponent, Crimson Seabad, and the Detroit Steel Wings did end up winning that match 5-0. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't get to have a matchup for that. And then week 9, we actually had a bye. So there was no battle there. But during our bye week, we did trade Venusaur for Needle Queen. As you can see on our screen, we do have a Needle Queen. And we are up against True and the Boston Silk Scarfs once again. We did battle him once this week, and we are tied for score right now in our division. He has a better differential than us, so hopefully we can get this win and move up in our rankings. You can see it there. I may have some winces of pain during this recording, and I can't sit up straight. I did something to my back while I was sleeping, so I'm trying to stretch right now, sorry. Oh, God. So I'm going to try and get through this quickly. I'm going to be hunched over most... I'm going to try not to hunch over. I'm going to fix this camera quick. I'm going to try and sit up straight as much as I can so I can straighten it out. But anyways, yeah, I brought Garchomp, Needle Queen with Choice Scarf, Calm Mind, Rock Polish, Diancie, Hoopa with Energy Ball instead of Shadow Ball this time for his Suicune. Greninja with Shadow Sneak so that his Conkeldurr can't Mach Punch us. And then Breloom is Poison Heal Breloom. And you can see he has Suicune, Mega Manectric, or Normal Manectric. He does have access to both. Donphan, Mew, Shaman Sky, and Conkeldurr. So I'm going to hit that play button. It is worth noting that this is the same team as he brought last time, so I'm kind of expecting the same sets. We're going to see the Conkeldurr come out here to lead off, and I led with the Greninja. So instead of showing Shadow Sneak right away, since it's not going to really do anything, I'm just going to switch out into my Diancie to take this Mach Punch here. Unfortunately, we aren't very defensively invested since we are Rock Polish Calm Mind set. So it does do quite a bit more than I would have liked it to. To a point where Drain Punch, Mach Punch combination might be able to get us from here. But he does switch out, and I went for Calm Mind, so... we're looking good on that front. We might have been able to live Drain Punch, Mach Punch, but we wouldn't have been able to live 2 Drain Punches, and Moonblast wasn't taking him out at any point. So it's a good thing that he switched out for us. So we get that Calm Mind off. And if the Suicune's anything like it was last time, it's going to be 4 attacks. I think it was Assault Vest. But I'm just going to go for the Moonblast because Scald isn't going to be able to 1-hit KO us. He does go for that Scald. Brings us down to 49 HP, and we don't get burned, which is perfect. So I can get this Moonblast off, hoping to get that drop in special attack, and just get some damage off. It does a little less than I would have liked it to. That's what makes me think it probably was Assault Vest. But that's about it. So I'm going to switch out my Diancie into Greninja to take the Scald, and it's mostly just hoping that we don't get burned here, since we are part physical. I could have brought in Breloom, but I didn't want to get burned and then my Toxic Orb be useless. So I do get the Grass Knot off. And if it wasn't Assault Vest, this should hit 1-hit KO, and he does live. So I'm assuming it was Assault Vest. That's going to do some HP damage from Life Orb, and then Signal Beam actually comes out from the Suicune. Was not expecting that, but he probably carried it in case I had Dark Pulse to change into a Dark type. So here I'm just going to bring the Breloom. Suicune is easy to KO, so I'm not going to worry about KOing it right now, and I'm going to go for the Substitute. And he actually brings in Mew, so I do have a Substitute up, which is pretty nice. So the following turn I can go for Spore. Get my Toxic heal going, and he goes for Nasty Plot. And now this kind of confirms that these are the same sets as last time, because he brought a Nasty Plot baton passing Mew last time with Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going to go for the Spore. It's going to put this Mew to sleep, which is perfect. And I remember last time I brought Tyranitar for this thing. I didn't bring Tyranitar this time. I don't exactly know why. I probably should have, actually. Not brought Diancie and brought Tyranitar. But anyway, I'm going to go for Seed Bomb. Looking at the Seed Bomb, it's probably a 4-hit KO after leftovers. So I'm just going to Seed Bomb until he gets me out from behind the sub. So I can get him whittled down enough that somebody else is going to be able to take him out. does still stay asleep for this turn, so I get to go for another Seed Bomb, which is nice. And it's still looking like a 4-hit KO from here after Leftovers recovery. And if he gets 3 turns of sleep, then we should be fine to KO with Breloom, because if he takes 3 turns, which would be 1 more turn here, we'd get a Seed Bomb off and then another one when he woke up. But unfortunately, he does wake up this turn, gets Dazzling Gleam off. That's going to break our substitute. And I go for one last Seed Bomb here, because I'm not going to stay in on Mew. Obviously, a Dazzling Gleam, it might have Psychic. And it looks like he lives on, like, the sliverest of health. So, unfortunately, that probably was a high roll, actually. So, we probably didn't even have a chance of knocking him out. But I'm going to switch out here and sack off my Diancie, because it's at such a low health, it's not going to be able to do much else the rest of the match. And we do see Dazzling Gleam from the Mew once again, and it actually doesn't knock me out, which is... It could have been unfortunate, because that means this Mew gets more Leftovers recovery. But I have a Choice Scarf Nidoqueen, so I can just bring that in and knock this thing out. So here comes a Dazzling Gleam once again. That's going to knock me out this time. I just stayed in. Actually, I think I went for Rock Polish, just in case he like switched or something. But he does stay in, knock me out. So now I can bring in Nidoqueen. I'm just going to go for Sludge Wave. It's my safest play. I unfortunately don't have Ice Beam on this one. I have Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Thunderbolt for the Suicune, and Flamethrower, I want to say. Because he has a Skyvalier. But yeah, he didn't bring it. So, couldn't have a useless Flamethrower. I could have went with Ice Beam and been pretty good here. But the Donphan's going to come in. I don't want to risk him being max attack to Earthquake and knock me out. So I'm going to bring in the Breloom, who can take Earthquake pretty well. And it can take Ice Shard fairly well. As well. Plus we get the Poison Heals. The Poison Heals. So now here I can just go for Spore. I went for Spore over Substitute first because I was expecting him to expect me to sub first to stay in an attack. So he does go to sleep with this Donphan. So I can now set up a Substitute to be able to hide from whatever's trying to come in. So this turn he withdraws the Donphan into the Magnolia, which is Shaman Sky, which I'm like, perfect. He did it this turn instead of last turn because I switched up the order. I subbed and spored in this time. So I can get some Poison Heal. And unfortunately, I don't have Rock Tomb on this thing. I didn't have room for it. So I'm going to set up a Focus Punch. He's going to do the most damage to this thing. He's going to go for Air Slash, which does connect. We can always hope for that miss, boys, but it doesn't. And then that's going to break the Substitute. But this Focus Punch is still going to do a ton of damage, which is nice. So, bop. And that will bring him down to 50%. And I get some more Poison Heal. I'm not going to stay in because Air Slash is going to want to KO me. So I'm going to switch out into Nidoqueen, who is a little more specially defensive and can take one Air Slash above 50%. And we're going to see that Air Slash come out and hit this Nidoqueen. Now either he stays in because he's Choice Scarfed and hopes he can knock out, or he switches out because he's not Choice Scarfed, or he is Choice Scarfed and knows he can't knock out. So there's a lot of options there still. I went for the Sludge Wave here. He brings in the Suicune, which is going to allow Nidoqueen to pick up its second KO of its first game. Good job, Nidoqueen. So there goes Suicune. It was kind of already done being a threat. In comes the Conkeldurr. I know it's just going to Ice Punch me, but I'm just going to go for Sludge Wave. If we get the Guts, it's going to suck, but at least it'll be residual damage. But he goes for the Ice Punch here. That's going to knock out my Nidoqueen. That's fine, Nidoqueen, you did your job. You picked up Suicune and Mew. You're good to go. I mean, it would have been nice to keep it around for Shaman, but we should be able to figure that out from there. So I'm going to bring in the Hoopa, who can 1-hit KO this Conkeldurr with Psyshock. And he actually brings in the Donphan to take it. It is asleep, but we should be fine. Psyshock is going to do quite a bit of damage, so I know this is just a max attack Donphan, and then I can just go for Energy Ball and knock this thing out and not have to worry about it anymore. So off goes the Energy Ball. Guaranteed KO on this Donphan from that range. Critical hit did not matter. And Hoopa picking up a KO of this match as well. Sorry, my back itches as well as hurts. So now he's going to bring in the Manectric. I know I can live one Thunderbolt from a Mega Manectric, so I'm just going to stay in and go for Psyshock. And he's going to Mega Evolve. Because Psyshock gets like 90% on a Mega Manectric. Hoopa is too strong. But he's going to go for Volt Switch, which will do even less than a Thunderbolt will. But now I'm in a range where Thunderbolt has a chance to kill me, especially after Life Orb from Mega Manectric. So, unfortunately, Hoopa won't be able to make that matchup again. He actually brings in the Shaman Sky, which I was pretty surprised about. I would think you'd want to sack off the Conkeldurr here, so then you can bring in your Mega Magnetric and then kill my Hoopa from there. But he's going to bring in the Mega Magnetric. I'm just going to switch into Breloom here, because I need my Garchomp still, and I need this Hoopa still. I don't necessarily need the Hoopa, but it'll be helpful against the Conkeldurr if it comes down to it. So I'm going to bring in the Breloom. He goes for Hidden Power Ice. I should live this, but he does get a critical hit, which doesn't matter. I actually prefer that he did it, so he has less wiggle room with his Magnetric, because now I get to bring my Garchomp straight in. And it doesn't matter if I'm intimidated or not, I still get to KO with Earthquake on Magnetric. I wasn't sure on this Conkeldurr though, so I should have went for Outrage, because Outrage, again, automatically KOs Magnetric, even at -1. But yeah, I go for Earthquake, and it does KO the Conkeldurr, so he isn't able to get a Mach Punch off, which might have been his plan here. Get a Mach Punch off and then go for Hidden Power Ice, because that'll knock me out. But with my EV investment, Hidden Power Ice doesn't knock us out. So as long as he doesn't crit us here, we will end up winning this game, because Earthquake one-hit KOs, and as long as he's not invested. So he doesn't get a crit. We live at 31. Now we'll see if he's invested. It's going to take a lot of investment to live an Earthquake from Mega Garchomp, even at -1, but that's going to knock him out. Mega Garchomp. He's been doing a lot for me, a lot more than I thought he was going to be doing this season. So Mega Garchomp's our current MVP with 5 differential, +5 differential. I think he has like 9 KOs and 4 deaths, so Mega Garchomp's doing the work, guys. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Good battle to True. Be sure to go check him out. Link will be in the description below. I'm going to get out of here because I need to go stretch my back. It's starting to hurt really bad. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next time. Stay sharp, everyone, and go Wild Charge. That hurt a little bit.